relationship is built on connection, the need to love, to trust, and to be understood. Yet how people connect, communicate, and respond to one another often depends on their attachment style, the emotional blueprint that shapes the way they love and relate. Psychologists describe attachment as the emotional bond formed in early childhood between a caregiver and a child. Over time, these early experiences influence how individuals approach relationships, from trust and intimacy to handling conflict and separation. There are 4 main attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. Attachment styles influence how people connect, communicate, and handle closeness. For example, some feel secure and open in relationships. Others may seek constant reassurance, while a few prefer emotional distance or struggle to balance both. These patterns shape the way individuals give and receive love, and understanding them can be the first step towards healthier relationships. Understanding attachment styles doesn't label people, it helps them grow. By recognizing emotional patterns, couples and individuals can learn to communicate better, manage insecurities, and build more secure bonds. Experts agree that with self-awareness, positive experiences, and sometimes therapy, attachment styles can change, helping people create relationships that feel safe, supportive, and lasting. Join Sally Limo and her guests on Family Matters as they explore attachment styles in relationship, uncovering how these emotional patterns shape the way we love, connect, and grow together.
Once again, a very good morning to you from wherever you are joining us around the world. In Kenya, all the 47 counties, welcome to Family Matters this morning, Relationship Clinic. We'll be discussing, as the explainer has said, matters relationship, but now this time, attachment styles. How you connect from the time you're a child and the way you relate to people as you grow up. It doesn't have to be, romantic relationships. It can be friendship, it can be in the family, it can be in church. How do you relate with people? And there are 4 types of those attachment styles. And that's why sometimes you wonder why there are people who actually go back to probably a toxic kind of relationship or fear being in a relationship commitment, So we judge them, but let's understand today what it is about attachment styles in relationships. The other thing, our brothers and sisters in Lamu, do you remember that we've been talking about Lamu the whole of October, the month of October? That has been our song through and through, just asking for your support, which you really came through, But the work is not yet done. Now, our brothers and sisters in Lamu still need to have this kind of information reach them. Yes, we've got the frequency, we'll get that, but then there's also a lot more. There's the staff members, there's a lot more just to ensure that, the whole project is complete. So, first and foremost, we want to say a very big thank you, a very big asante sana, merci beaucoup, for all that you've done for us. But again, continue holding our hands as we get now to impact lives in Lamu in a very impactful and positive way. So keep doing that through pay bill number 316 and the account name can still be Lamu. And also, if you want to just support our project, our ministry, please do that through the same pay bill number. And also, if you want to be part of this conversation with my amazing lady guest in studio, you can do that through 20316 SMS line 0786 316 316. That is our WhatsApp line. Send in your questions, send in your feedback, and let's have this conversation together as we roll with this amazing ladies in studio with me. Karibuni sana, Wangoi, and also Millicent, the expert when it comes to matters attachment. Today you're going to help us, both of you, just unpack this and understand this. But before then, would you introduce yourself? And I'll start with you, Wangoi.
Oh, thank you so much, Sally. My name is Wangoi Maina. I'm the founder of Finding Me Community, which is a mental health organization, mainly focusing on young people in universities. Yes, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to just debunk about my own lived experience when it comes to attachment styles, because this is something, once I knew it, it was revolutionary. So we hope that this session when someone gets it back at home, that it will actually be able to empower them and make them have more agency within their lives, as I did.
I love what you just said.
Thank you.
Number one, working with the young people, you'll tell us why young people. Because my daughter is also watching. She told me she's in the anxious, attachment style. So
that is
it will be liberative. That sounds pretty good.
100%. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Millicent,
yes,
introduce yourself, please.
Thank you. Good morning, Sally. And I'm glad to be here this morning to just explore this subject of attachment style. I'm a counseling psychologist.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Karibu sana. Always a pleasure having you here.
Asante sana.
So maybe you'll start us off, Millicent, in terms of what is an attachment style, or what are attachment styles? Because there are people who are watching and they're just hearing this for the very first time. What is it all about?
Okay. It's a psychological term that is used on how people connect, emotionally, and especially children, children growing up. How do they form the emotional bonds and even the social bonding, even as they are growing up, depending on the caregiver.
Okay.
Even as they are growing up, how are they attaching or how are they connecting?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
With the caregiver.
Fantastic. Now, Wangoi, you're here and you're saying you discovered that, yes, this is my attachment style, which Millicent will actually take us through the four. But how did you know that, how did you discover that, now, this is it, this is my attachment style?
That's a really good question, because I never knew there's something like attachment styles that exist in this. We just live this world, connecting with people, thinking that everyone is seeing the world from our own lenses, until someone like draws the curtain and then you realize, oh,
there's something on the
people handle the same situation very differently, right? So for me, my experience, first of all, I am very big on knowledge, consuming content online. That's more about personal development and all. And I remember it was in 2023, that's like 2 years ago. I was like, I'm this old and this is when I learned about attachment styles. It was so sad because like so much had passed and there's nothing I could change about it. But I knew that I was empowered enough now to move forward, because I was watching a podcast episode. It's called Impact Theory on YouTube. There's a psychologist, she's called Sadia Khan.
Right.
And she was so I was just listening to this podcast just to learn about relationships. It wasn't like tagged attachment styles or something. And then Sadia Khan was talking about so they got into this space of attachment styles, and I got like, what do you mean? So she was explaining a situation where these social development studies that are usually done in the United States, where mothers were told to come into a room and then they come with their child, and then they were told you leave your child and then you go, and then you have to like come back after a few minutes. So they realized that, let's say I come with my child and then I put them here. Some mothers, when they left, their children were not even bothered. Actually, it's like they were happy, kind of. Oh, you're gone. They even start become more playful. They actually easen up. If there are some toys over there, they start playing with them, right? And then some kids, of course, when the mother leaves, since this is your caregiver, they start crying.
Right.
But then once the mother comes back, they easily soothe. Like they can easily be soothed and they can keep quiet immediately after, right? And then now there are children who, when the mother left, they started crying, but when the mother came back, they cried even more, right? So they see the mother, now oh, mommy's here, now they are shouting and bursting with cry and they are dismantling everything, right? And that was the first time I felt like, I thought to myself, oh my God, I must be the last child. Who, when the mother comes back, she's even crying even way more. You get what I'm saying? And then from there now she started explaining how the first who, when the mother left, they were not even bothered. That's an avoidant attached. The one who's easily soothed, they're securely attached, and the one who's whining and grinding is anxiously attached. And then she kept on explaining how these tendencies continue growing
into adulthood.
Even into like it's something that if you're not conscious about, it's something you will live with your entire life. Because she was explaining how now she started saying, if you're an adult and you're anxiously attached, this is how you behave, right?
And you saw yourself in there.
100%.
Let me bring in Millicent, because you tell us how now you got to know that was you. But before then, let's talk about now the different types, because they're like 4, right? there are 4 of them, avoidant, whatever Wangui has said, avoidant, secure, and all that. What are they? And explain them.
And you can see how she's excited,
Yeah.
knowing her own
I'm trying to read that
attachment.
energy, actually.
Knowing her
Wow.
own attachment
Liberated.
because of how they truly do affect people, relate
Yeah.
in relationships.
They do.
Yeah, like she says, there's one that is the anxious, and being anxious. And most of the time, anxiety comes with living in the future.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what is going to happen there in the future? So all the time you are you are just there. And the anxious comes also with a lot of fear.
Yeah.
Am I going to be left? What is going to happen? There is always the each of what is going to happen to me, or what is happening. So there is the anxious attachment, and then there is the secure,
You're right.
where people feel they are safe. They feel they are safe. They can become themselves.
Okay.
They can be real to themselves.
Okay.
And that depends on how these people are attached. That there is that room for making even the mistakes, and the mistakes, even when they are being corrected, they are corrected in love.
That's from home now.
That is from home.
Okay.
Because most of these things, we build them from home as we are growing up. Although even at times as we continue growing, because of the different experiences we face in life, one can still continue developing these the attachment styles.
Okay.
All right? Then there is the dismissive one.
Right.
You are neither there, you are not there. You hear she was talking of where some children, even when the parents go, it's like, okay, bye-bye, see you. Because they just keep on dismissing. How many people keep on also attaching in their relationships and they dismiss? There's
So
nothing
dismissive is the same as avoidant?
Yes.
Is it the same?
Yeah, the
Okay.
dismissive avoidant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know that we've had people when anything happens, they're like, whatever.
Yeah. They don't really care.
They don't care. They're avoidant. After all, why should I care? And it has always been like this.
Yeah.
And then there's now the fearful avoidant. Always, they're always, they conflict with a lot of fear. That fearful avoidant. Will I be accepted? Will I not be accepted? So it is they are just there. Even when they are, because of how they were connected in relating. And especially from caregivers that are always maybe sometimes shouting.
Right.
So somebody is always walking, walking on eggshells.
Right.
Yeah, because of the fear. What is going to be what is going to happen? What will I be told? So either of those, one can find themselves in those different attachment styles.
Okay.
And especially when people are growing up. Because for me, I say home is the first place that people learn how to relate, that people learn how to connect, the home. So depending on the caregiver, the caregiver, the parents, and even the house helps that we leave our children with.
Okay.
That is how people connect emotionally and socially.
Okay. Does something like an absentee parent also contribute to something like this?
It does. It does.
Mm-hmm.
It does a lot because a child, a child is born with this need of always, being taken care of. They don't know how to speak.
Yeah.
And therefore, their communication most of the time is crying. A cry from a baby would mean so many things. Either I need to be changed.
Yeah.
I am hungry. Where are you? Am I alone in this space? So that is how children communicate. So most parents, we respond to the cry of a child until a child comes to a later stage where they are able now to speak and to communicate and to say exactly what they want or they need.
Or they feel.
Or how they feel. So the crying of a baby is how they start connecting. Or if it is somebody that is, when they cry, I am hungry, they are fed.
Yeah.
So they feel, oh, my needs are being taken care of.
Right.
But you can imagine where a child is crying and crying and there is nobody to take or to respond to that cry. So what happens? The child will cry and sleep off, knowing that even if I cry, nobody is there.
Nobody will come.
Nobody will come.
Right.
But so that connection is how people form their attachment style. Yeah.
Okay.
And how even they're socialized and emotionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's get to Wangui now, because the excitement of telling us how you discovered this.
Story time. Yeah.
And you're what? You said you're an anxious. Yeah.
Very strong, anxiously
How did you
attached.
get to know that you are?
And I love what Dr. is saying.
Yeah.
And even as she was speaking, I'm just telling myself, like, sometimes you also need to extend a lot of grace, especially if you realize that you're not securely attached.
Yeah.
In the sense that you are just coping as a child, given the circumstance. You had to survive as a child, right? You had to learn a way that you can be able to like go through childhood and successfully become an adult.
Right.
So sometimes we developed these different attachment styles so that we can be able to cope with the situations that we were in at that time, right? So, yeah. I think you had asked a question. I think I forgot it.
My question is like, how did you get to know now? You know, were you in a relationship? Is it through friendship?
Yeah, 100%. No, friendship, I'd say strongly, because for me especially, for the longest time, even before I became like extremely self-aware, because right now I'm like extremely self-aware, is I always have an underlying fear of abandonment.
Okay.
Always. If a relationship is starting out, if a friendship is starting out, I like that is always my greatest fear. That we will get to connect, but then you will leave and go. That you will abandon me. And it's not even like someone has triggered me. It's something that maybe I come with. I don't know. It's like a package or what would I say? A burden that I come with. Does that make sense?
Childhood experience?
100%. So I think also something that I always leave to like benefit of a doubt is most of these attachment styles can be traced to someone when they are extremely young. Some of which maybe we cannot be able to articulate because maybe at that time we were not able to even consciously absorb and understand the world and even consume it well. But for me, I think the place where I can easily trace that this is where I first felt like an overwhelming amount of anxiety and fear for an extended period of time. And that is something that I've carried with me up until now. Although now I relate with it differently, probably will get there, is I come from a family, both mom and dad, very hardworking, extremely hardworking, and they're blue-collar job workers, so they have to be there physically and do the actual work. And I remember there was a period of my life where all my siblings, so we are 3 in our family and I'm the youngest. So my 2 brothers had gone for boarding school. So I was used to having siblings around. They were always there. I was never alone. Then pop, no one, right? And then, you know, as a child, no one explains, oh, you know, your brothers are leaving. No, it's like, no, she's too young to understand or something. You know, some of these things that parents assume in one way or another. So both of my brothers have gone to boarding, and then since my parents had to work really hard in order for them to sustain them with their education and also our family here in Nairobi, so they were away most of the time. So my mom had to go and deliver stuff in town, my dad was away, and there was an extended period of time where I remember I was coming back from school, home, I'm alone, right? There's no one at home. I have to wait for my parents for an extended period of time. We didn't like have a house girl or something of that sort. So it's like being exposed to being alone, like
for
let's say
extended periods,
extended periods of time, and you are not like briefed into it. It was just like
no
1 minute. Yes, there was no mental
Right.
preparation. So 1 minute before, like it's the whole family, it's intact. Your brothers are there. You guys are going to the same school. You actually go to school with your brother and all, and then overnight you're going to school alone. They're not around. Your parents are not around because they are. It's for a good reason. We can't say that they were out there to cause any harm. No one is. I don't think most parents intend to cause any harm,
not.
but some of these damages just happen along the way. So I used to be left alone for extended periods of time, and I remember the entire time when I was there waiting for my parent, he's like, when will she come?
How
When is
young
she?
were you?
Actually, very young. I think I was 9, 8, 9, around there, right? So like I used to wait, oh, where is she? When is she coming back? And then I remember, like I used to have this constant anxiety of, did she have an accident? And I remember even I was listening to like, so we live near the bus station or the stage around our home. So I used to count the matatus that are passing by and be like, is she in that one? And then I wait for like 10 minutes. No, she's not. No, she's not. And maybe she'd come like maybe after 2 or 3 hours after I'd come out of school. So I remember from that time, I am not like 100, but of course I'm sure it's also can be traced like way backwards. But I remember from that time, after experiencing that constant anxiety for a long period of time and things just shifting overnight, I just fear being abandoned.
Alone.
100%. Yeah.
Millicent, do you relate to what can you, like, have you heard of this before? Do you relate to what she's saying? Is it possible?
Very true.
Oh, yeah?
You know, like she's saying, for her, it's is that the parents are not there. She's left at home alone. The others have gone to boarding school. Now you can imagine she was in that bubble of safety, safety that my siblings are around.
Right.
Even if the parents are they are going to work and they're coming home late, at least she has company. But now she's all alone.
Okay.
And she's just wondering, when are they going to come back? And it's actually for a good cause. The parents are busy working.
Yes.
You know, but you can imagine her being left at home alone.
At that tender
age. And she's a girl. And she's explaining it so well that she would even go to and afraid and fearing what happened to them. Why are they not coming? So living in that constant kind of an environment, psychologically, that is disturbing her. And that's how, you know, she has learned how to relate.
Okay.
And fear of being left. You know, even when the others are going to school, these things are not being explained to us.
Yeah.
And children, are they even asked for any of their opinion?
No.
They never asked for any they never asked for any opinion.
Yeah.
Today you were shifting and you are moving from this town going to another town. You just tell them, okay, now we are going.
Pack your things.
Pack your things, they are leaving. Nobody is asked, what is your take?
Exactly.
You know, even as we are leaving this place. So they just go. So being left in that kind of an environment. And actually, okay, there are those parents who, they don't know what to do. And things have to be done. Work has to be, you know, people have to go to work. But is it explained to these children?
That's the issue.
Nothing is explained. They will just wake up in the morning, you're going to school, I'm going to work. So we meet later in the evening.
So African, by the way.
You know, exactly. Even not, you know, there is no caregiver that is going to be left behind. Okay, depending on all those kind of things.
Right.
And therefore, people are in that kind of a space.
Okay.
Because I'm sure if she was explained to, like, for example, okay, I'm going to work, when you come, you know, there is kind of communication.
Preparation.
She would be knowing, okay, mom is going to work, so when I come, I'll be doing like this in the meantime. But there is nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is overthinking part of these styles? Because I'm seeing her overthinking a lot, like, what if mommy doesn't come back? Or is just that fear? Is there overthinking in the attachment styles? And Wangui will also tell us if she overthinks also as an anxiety and anxious.
There is the fear. There is the fear of you're asking yourself, what could be happening?
What if?
What if, the what if, the what if, the what if? There are those people who will be like, okay, for example, in a secure person, the person has gone. But at the same time, I know, for surety, I know they will come. The question of what if, I would want also to do what? Maybe I'll also want to dispute.
Okay.
People can also be disputing. I know she will come because of how we spoke in the morning, even as we are parting ways and going with one another. But this place of these things that are happening in her life, let's use Wangoi's case, that whatever is happening in her life, once you are in that space of everyone is there, I'm sure with your siblings, maybe with the person that you follow, you said you're the last one.
Yeah, I'm the last one.
What is the gap?
4 years. It's perfect. 4 years.
Four years. But you see, even as you're growing in the company of others.
Yes,
But then, now all of a sudden, that company is not there.
It's gone.
It's gone. So by the time you're 4 years, your sibling, maybe your other sibling is around 8 years. And that time you're 4 years. So you can imagine that kind of the spacing.
And probably they're brothers. Are they boys?
Yeah, they're boys. All of them.
The protection and you feel safe.
And the company. They were forming. They were giving her that, you know, the community of her growing and socializing. Now it's not there.
Wow.
It's not there. And the parents have to go to work.
She's all alone.
So you're all alone.
Anxiety
You definitely will be wondering, hey, what's not happening?
Okay.
Everybody is leaving me. So even in her relationships, and especially romantic relationship, even as she gets into, she'll be like, wait a minute, you're going to leave.
You're going to leave. That's the first thought. That's always the first thought.
But now in friendship, Wangoi, how are your friendships like? Now we've just met. How do you relate with your friends then? And what's your longest friendship that you've been in? Who with your favorite person? Let's not call them BFFs or what?
100%. I think for me, especially once I gained that awareness, is I also realized that I've always been in friendships with avoidant people. I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't know if it's something that anxious and avoidance, like you just cross paths. I think that I'll be able to read the room and be like, you're avoidant.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, because it's always like a chase that you're always on. Because for me, I think for the friendships that I've had, I've always found myself, as I said, like the first thing is the fear of abandonment is always like. That has always been there, even if I'm self-aware. And Dr. will tell us if someone can shift their attachment style.
That's going to be my next question after the break.
We will leave that to the experts, right? But in my own experience, even after I'm like becoming more self-aware and I'm understanding that I'm anxiously attached, I still have that underlying fear. It's not, maybe my relationship to it is changing in that I'm not acting from that place, but it's there. It's not going away. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You are.
So when it comes to friendships especially, I tend to be the person who clings on too hard. Does that make sense? Because of that fear and because of that thing, I'm the friend who's always reaching out, who's always texting, who's like, why are you not picking my calls? Kwani, where are you? What do you mean? If a friend like cancels out, like maybe genuinely they're not feeling well, or genuinely they're not in a good place as at that moment, I interpret it as, oh, so now you're leaving? Oh my God, so now you don't want to be my friend? You get, so it's always like overreacting. And anytime I sense fear, especially of abandonment or conflict is coming in, I want to cling in even tighter. So let's say I'm having a conflict with a friend, my first reaction would be, let's meet right now. Can I call you right now? We talk about it. Like I just want to like get rid of any destabilization
that all
immediately,
is well.
even if I'm not even clear about how the situation is or how it's unfolding. You know, sometimes you need first to digest what's happening, understand it, then speak from a place of clarity and understanding. But now, previously, I just used to, like, it's the discomfort that's driving me, and how I react with discomfort is not like being away or keeping away. No, it's like, right, can we meet right now? Can I talk to you? Like, being overly, anything that's triggering you just want to cling on. Even like, I don't know if I'm making sense.
You've said something very important. You've mentioned things that we look or we just overlook. Like, oh, you call me and I'm not picking, and we have this small teeth, and those things we take them like, oh, I can't make it for this.
For sure.
We take him very lightly. It's an attachment style. Let's take a very short break as we come back, so that Millicent can tell us: is it possible to evolve from one attachment to the other, and what are some of the steps someone can take? We're going to be taking a very short break, but we'll be right back as we listen in to our partner Anne. Let's listen in to hear what she has to say when it comes to matters relationship. We'll be right back.
I'm Anne Murugi, and Murugi is a Christian. I come from a family of 5. We are 5 home kwetu. So my mom, dad, I have a sister and a brother. But I got married and I moved out of home, and now I'm married and I have a son. He's still young. So this year I started a business for making products, home care, home cleaning products, that is soaps, liquid hand wash, stuff like that. Tulikuwa tuna watch family media tukiwa watoi home. Madhi alikuwa anaweka family media tukiwa watoi, since it was ndio channel ilikuwa ya Christian. So najua hizi zingine ungeweka pattern na the beat hapo na nini. So my mom was strict, hapo ndio tulikuwa tunaekewa family media. Program you follows hii ni kama hiyo Family Matters, but that's my favorite one. So me get kulan vitu through hizo shows zenye wanaleta, because ina deal na real life situations zime kama relationships. Meshuka hizo. Kuna time walikuwa wameleta ya homeschooling, and it was of interest to me. Nilikuwa nataka kujua kitu iwendaje. Tuseme tumekuwa tukigive as a family, but as a family, so tumekuwa tukigive through Isaac. So me the part nili come in after tumeanza kuona show zao, na nikaona actually wana preach the word of grace na ikani interest. So from there nikasema, well, family media ni nini poa, na hawana limitations ati si lazima u give from this amount ama from what. So ni ile tupo nayo una give. Well, mimi naweza sema nime receive bado from what I've been giving, nimekuwa nikireceive significantly. Yes, so mimi we call it kama seed, so na give a seed na nimekuwa nikiona harvest.
Through the generosity of many like Anne, we see God's word transforming lives through media. We invite you to become part of the family that is helping keeping Jesus on the airwaves by making a donation to M-Pesa paybill number 316 with your phone number as the account number.
Kama sisi hatungekuwa introduced to the gospel at a young age, unaona kuja correct mtu huko hivi mbele itakuwa a problem. So Family Media is doing a great job. So mnaweza encourage tu muendelee hivyo, mta reach many lives and many young people. Kama aka katoi, nataka nika introduce the moment hadi sasa hivi mwekea sermons hapa hivi. Asikize tu, asikize. Ziendelee tu kumbuild pole pole.
Wow, welcome back to our discussion this morning on attachment styles in a relationship, and I'm joined by Wangoi in studio with me, who is actually someone who's going through one of them, which is anxious, and also I have an expert with me, Millicent, who's actually helping us unpack and understand the 4 different types of attachment styles. That there was Anne, and she has put it so well, the benefits of being a partner, how important it is to be one and reaching out to many people and impacting their lives, just like we had said. And we continue really being very grateful to you for being there for us, for walking with us this journey, especially when it comes to Lamu. We have done it by your help, not by our own, but by God's grace and your help, we've been able to just, get there. And what we want to say is a very big thank you. Keep on being here with us, keep on supporting us, just to ensure that the whole project is up and running, and you can do that through paybill number 316, and the account name shall be your telephone number. So as we continue with our conversation, before the break we were talking about, those little things that someone does and you're like, oh my God, holding on to stuff. For sure. But we want to understand, Millicent, this morning, is it possible to have your style change, the attachment style? Can it evolve to something else? An anxious one, can I be secure at some point?
Yes, yes you can. With a great environment, yes you can. One, with awareness. Okay. You see, like for Wamboi, she says now she understands that's where she is. So if she gets good environment, and people that they can allow her to become, definitely she will keep on growing and knowing that I'm safe. That this person understands me. So one, it begins by your awareness. Are you aware of yourself? Are you aware of you wanting to, this is what I want. So number one is awareness, understanding, oh, this is how I am. Like she's saying, when her friends, for example, in her relationships with friends, why are you not coming? What is not, if she understands that this person is not coming because of A, B, C, D, and understands that, and that is, it is genuine. It's not that this person is running away from me, that this person indeed and truly, they're not able to come because of A, B, C, D. She will be able to understand that. So that awareness, number one, that this is how I am, all right? This is how I am. And so then something else, communication, clear communication. Is she able to communicate her needs? Is she able to tell this person, when this and this happens to me, this is how I feel? Because again, sometimes, Sally, in relationship, we expect a lot from people and they don't know what they're expecting, what we are expecting from them. So you have a lot of expectations and these expectations are not voiced out. So if they are not voiced out, how will I know this is what you are expecting from me? So also, you learning how to express your needs, it's very important. It helps somebody even as you're growing. You're coming now from being anxious and getting to be secure. Slowly, so number one, you need to understand yourself. Also, this is how I attach. And what is it that I'm telling myself about this thing? What is it that what kind of thoughts are going through me as I am, in that space? When people communicate to me, what is it that I am interpreting? What is it that I am telling myself? That is very important. And also understanding that, there are some places that I don't have control of. There are things that you don't have control of. So understanding what is it that I am in control and what is it that I'm not in control. Now, for instance, when somebody decides to keep quiet, when somebody decides to talk, or when somebody decides to behave in a certain way, how much control do you have over that?
Zero.
You have zero. So understanding that there are things that I'm in control of and there are things that I'm not in control of, that goes a long way. It goes a long way.
Okay.
So one, understanding yourself. Two, or there is also, you know, learning how to communicate. Communicating your needs to the people around
Very
you.
important, yeah.
Very important. Also understanding that there are things that are within my control and some that are not within my
beyond
control.
you, okay.
They're beyond you.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So because, for instance, if somebody decides to leave, are you in control of that person?
You cannot hold them back.
You can't hold them back. So what do? I am not in control of that. That person has made their own decisions.
Okay.
You are not in control of their emotions. You're not in control of their choices. So understanding that goes a long way. And knowing that even as they are leaving, it's not because of me.
Okay.
Because
All
there are things that I'm not in control of.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Very well put. Wangoi, when you look back at your relationships, is there a point that you felt wounded, you know, in one of those relations due to your attachment?
Yeah, 100%. I actually think that even this fear of abandonment has actually come to pass, if I may say that. Like, I've had 2 instances. One was in high school and one was in university, where I had a best friend come and tell me, Wangoi, I don't want us to be friends anymore.
And your world just shattered right in front
Collapses.
of you.
That's the word. It will collapse. Like, you feel like the whole world is just coming down all at once, and then it's like a reaffirmation that this fear that I've always had, it's not an illusion, it's actually very real, and it can actually happen. I remember, like, especially the last one, I was in university, or no, I had just like graduated. I remember it was the month after my graduation, and then the person who had been like best friends throughout my university period just told me, Wangoi,
cheers, it was
cheers, cheers. And it's usually because I also feel like, as a person, like, I have a very strong character. So probably people might tend to lean into my ways a little bit more, and then it gets to a point where they're like, oh, no, me, like, I don't know if that makes sense. So in one way, no, I remember especially the last one, when I felt like really, because it's really close and I can remember it clearly. I remember my friend, we were in my house, and then she told me, like, she had come for supper, like, everything was usual. You know, it's the kashift where yesterday someone was your best friend, today,
and the next morning, they're
like,
gone.
We were speaking, we were talking, we were engaged. I don't know if I'm making sense. And then they come and tell you, me, I don't want to be your friend anymore. And I remember I was kind enough, and then, because at that time I shut down completely, and then I spiral to, oh, I'm unlovable, oh, I'm not a good friend. Oh, it always goes back to me. It's never about the other person having poor communication. It's never about them. Even when someone, let's say, does something like that, it's always about me. Oh, I'm a bad friend, or I can't keep relay, or it's true, I'll be abandoned, I've been abandoned. Like, I don't know if I'm making sense. And then I remember I took that friend, and then we got to a place where I told her, now you can just go, and then I go back to my house. So I took her to, like, we were living close to each other since it was a university area. So our apartment was near to each other. So we got to the road, and then I got her somewhere, and then I had to go back, and then she had to proceed on. I remember I started crying. Immediately I turned. Like, she hadn't even, I think she even she heard that I was crying. Like, I was crying on the road. So I'm walking, I'm crying like a small child, and then I remember I just go to my place like this, and then the brother that I follow is like my best friend, to just say. So I remember I got to my home, and then I just called my brother. I couldn't even speak. I was just crying, and then afterwards I remember I called my mom. Like, that was such a...
So it's a biggie to you.
It was so big, you'd even think someone had died.
Millicent, is this normal? Is this normal? And as you touch on that, I would also want you to speak about secure attachments. Is that normal?
You can hear. She's attributing everything to herself. As if the other person never contributed to all
Has no
this.
role.
I'm just wondering, by the time the friend is coming to tell you that I'm no longer your friend, I would have wanted to know, yes, tell me more
Why?
about it. What has happened? So what happened? Because by the time she comes to such a conclusion that you're no longer going to be my friend, then she must be coming from somewhere.
100%.
But you see, everything she blames on her,
Self.
it's everything she blames on herself. Everything she blames on herself. I'm hoping that you're working on that.
Yeah, I did. Actually, I went to therapy
it
afterwards
better now?
because I became extremely anxious. Like, I couldn't even like perform normally or even just live my life. Like, I was in a very anxious loop. And I remember my brother was like, by the Wangoi, he actually paid for my first therapy session.
Wow.
And after we talked to the therapist at Mpisha, she was like, no, your friend has this And then I was like,
You see, voila.
it's not
The
about
moment
me.
right there.
It's not about me. But what
And
she's
exactly
saying
what
is
she's
very
saying as
true.
well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can imagine being in that space, especially when there is no awareness.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
The way, however, the way she behaved, though, that was quite in order. You know, the crying because there is no awareness. Because right now, when you ask her, you know, you could have asked yourself. By the way, when you look at yourself, you know, you reflect, you evaluate yourself. What is it that I could have done?
Yeah.
All right. What is it that I could have done that could have brought us to this space? All right. Maybe I did A, B, C, D. Then is it something that we can work on? But you see, for her, she just went on. You know, she's like, okay,
It
so
is me.
it is
Yeah,
done. Eh? So
yeah.
bye bye.
I'm the worst human
I'm the worst
being.
human. The kind of
All the
things that
negativity,
every
yeah.
negativity she's just telling, just for her to keep on holding
Right.
onto that.
Okay. Now, let's briefly get onto social. I can see Edwin from Nairobi says, good morning, Sally. What a beautiful show with amazing energy. Absolutely, I agree, Edwin. My take on this topic is communication. Once you understand a friend or a partner, or anyone close to you has anxiety, you need to acknowledge that and value detailed communication. Reach out to them and explain whatever informed needs to be shared before they reach out to you. People who struggle with anxiety find it difficult to trust your word if you waited for them to ask before they explain. Is that true?
Can I start?
Yeah,
Can I
sure.
start with the communication part? Because for me especially, once I learned that I'm anxiously attached, and then I started working to like unlearning the anxious behavior, the anxiety-driven behavior, the first thing when actually I was having those therapy sessions was that I actually communicate to anyone, a friend, a colleague, so long as we're interacting for extended periods of time. I tell, because what usually triggers me is poor communication. That's always like the first trigger.
Yeah.
So things start becoming vague. You're not explaining things really well. You're not saying I can't deliver. Like even recently, a colleague was supposed to deliver on a presentation, and then they're not responding to my text on WhatsApp. Like I even start seeing like small things trigger me. It's not even about friendships or relationships only. Even colleagues, things that correlate to you in one way or another.
I can tell from our communication. I can tell.
We're in the same WhatsApp group. Same WhatsApp group. So like I communicate with my team, with my friends, anyone that I'm engaging with for extended periods of time. I tell them, I am usually triggered if you don't communicate well. So anytime you're not even in a place to communicate, can you tell
Please let me know.
you are not in a place to communicate?
Exactly.
Like if you can't communicate, tell me you can't communicate. I don't know if I'm making sense. Just don't disappear from nowhere.
go. Yeah,
There's
ghost
like
me.
a whole anxiety loop that I can't control. So
Okay.
the first thing is I communicate, yes, and I also tell them,
expect.
please communicate, because as even Daktari said is sometimes we have uncommunicated desires and you haven't even raised them. So it's very, very important if you're avoidant attached, if you're securely they're good. I have a secure friend and they act very differently from me.
I know.
Very different. I'm like, what do you mean this is your response?
Things are
You're
over, but
okay?
they're calm.
Like they're always calm. They're always in control. They're not in loops. They're not like, I'm like
Wangoi somewhere. Let's talk about, because when Wangoi started, she said there's this thing, and I've heard it from many people, avoidance and anxious. They are always they're always together. They pack up together.
Yeah.
Is that how it's supposed to be? and when, for example, in a relationship, like a girl, a lady, and a man, and you find the lady is the one who's anxious and the man is the avoidant. How should they balance this out?
You know,
still, is it on communication? What?
You know, when you're saying that in a relationship, in a romantic relationship, there's a couple I was working with, and then, you know, they were, the first sessions when they came, they were just, you know, fighting. So I decided to say, let's do this. Let's first do your attachment style. Let's see how you people attach. And when we did the attachment style, that's where
the solution was.
They were like, Millicent, will we ever be normal? Because one was avoidant, and then the other one was anxious.
Wow.
So you can imagine, the moment they were able to, they realized, oh, so I am anxious, so I am avoidant. They started now to work on themselves. So, and they, of course, it takes time in a romantic relationship. It will take time, but now you are relating with a lot of awareness that I know, oh, so when I do this, I'm not trying to run away from you. It is A, B, C, D. So, you know, with communication, it helps. It is not like when there is no awareness. Yeah, when there is awareness, there is a lot of help. You know, you will be able to grow and you're able to communicate. So when I do this, that doesn't mean I don't love you. Because for example, the lady was like, me sometimes I just want to go at a place alone and just be alone. And the man is like, you can't travel alone. Why? How? And she says, when I go, it doesn't mean that I don't love you. I just want to be to have some time, just to be alone and just unwind. It was not adding up.
I think what you've said here is very important. Awareness. Because once I'm aware, then I'm able to communicate. Because now I know. But without, so the first things first is awareness.
Having awareness. Why do I behave this way? All right? Why do I behave this way? Awareness is very important. And also having some self-compassion on yourself. You know, have some self-compassion on yourself. Give yourself grace. Not everything is that bad. It's never that serious. Give yourself some grace. And also learning, we said awareness, communicating, gracing yourself. Also disputing the irrational. Am I rational? Because human beings, we can be both rational and irrational. Am I rational? Am I rational in this thing? It is true, this person could be getting late. And even as they are getting late, what are the possibilities of them coming late? You understand? Very important. Now, for example, this morning as I was coming, today I woke up late and I was like, wow, 7 I need to be there. And this is at, I just gathered myself and then just left. But on the way as I was coming, I kept on communicating to her that I'm on my way and I'm coming. When your colleague called me, I said by 7 I'll be there. And true to that, I was able to make it to this place by the right time. So communicating so that at least even the other person doesn't keep on wondering what is happening.
What's going on?
I'm sure with that it helps you to settle down. You're like, oh, okay, the person is communicating, and that helps a lot. Yes.
Let's talk about conflict. You as an anxious, how do you handle conflict? Are you those people who now you want it to be fixed, or you just shut yourself and say, you know what? Nil by mouth. I'm not talking.
I am. Can we fix it right now? Don't go anywhere. Don't even move. We don't even need to think about it.
What did you just say?
What? We need to speak. Especially for me, my anxious attachment style comes out in like close family, friend, like especially if it's an intimate relationship. I hate discomfort of conflicts, because you know conflict comes with some level of discomfort where you feel like things are not stable, they're not stabilized, right? So in my automatic or like original state, I am someone who, when it comes to conflict, don't go anywhere, don't shut down, don't tell me you need to think about it first, because that waiting period of you thinking, I'll be overthinking. You're thinking me, I'm spiraling down. So you want me to die with my thoughts, right? No, we have to like speak about it right now. But then I think even as Dr. said, because for me, I think I am someone who has really outgrown my anxious attachment style, in the sense that I still experience the same sensations, but I don't act from them. I don't now, right now, if I have conflict with someone, automatically on pilot mode, like I'd be like, can we speak about it right now? But right now, I have a counter book.
Wow.
And it's a journal. Because I need to really rant and... When people see my journal, they're like, do you need a counter book for a journal? You can just get like a normal notebook. I'm like, no, I need the 5 choir. I need the 5 choir journal.
Okay.
So I usually, what I do right now is I first digest it, and I have to first ensure that even when I'm acting, I'm not acting when I'm anxious.
Okay.
So what I do is I affirm myself on my journal, and it's okay. They're not going anywhere. They're not leaving. And it's very normal to have conflict. It's part of human interaction and human. So I journal. Once I'm like in a calm state,
then you can come and deal with the conflict.
Then.
Because I'm just wondering, as you say, if we have to that we have to resolve it now and now, and then this other person is avoidant. Right now, I don't want to talk. I need first to collect myself, gather my thoughts, because I need to know what I'm going to say, even in this, even as we're resolving the conflict. So
and
you can.
I wanted to ask you the characteristics of this avoidant. So one of them is that they don't want to deal with issues immediately.
They don't.
Okay.
Actually, they don't want to deal with the issue
at all.
They're like, let me. They want to run, right?
They're avoiding it. They're avoiding those uncomfortable situations. So you can imagine the two of them. Now, if there is no communication, no proper communication, where will that relationship end up to?
That's the thing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I think I'll just give you, Wangoi, 20 seconds. You, especially. 20. Wrap up your parting shot.
I think for me, it's first of all, this was a really good conversation. Thank you so much, Sally, for having us. I've enjoyed it so much. For me, I can say that you can actually become more and more secure in your attachments, for sure, because I'm someone who has really transformed from being extremely anxious to like being stable. Even if I experience the anxiety, I act from a place of security, right?
Fantastic.
And this is possible for anyone and everyone. You just need to be aware and then act on that awareness. Don't just sit with it.
Is there's hope?
Yeah.
There's hope.
100%.
30 seconds, 20 actually.
Yes, there is hope. You can grow to secure attachment.
All right.
Yes, as you take your steps with working with a lot of awareness and support, and that's why we are on this side, so that we can help you.
Absolutely.
You know, explore where you're coming from, and then you are able to heal. Because when you are able to heal, especially your advanced childhood, experiences, then the negative ones, then you're able to act from a point of understanding and grow.
Fantastic. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. I used to, those conversations you have and you're like, 2 hours should have been, But unfortunately, we have to come to the end of this amazing, amazing conversation. Thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you so much for all the interactions that you've had with us this morning. I want to say a very big asante sana to our partners. As always, asante sana. Thank you for always holding our hand and ensuring that this kind of conversations get to reach a whole lot of people out there. Remember, this conversation is also on our YouTube channel, not just this one, but many, many more. Monday through to Sunday, we have something going on at Family Media. So you can do that by just subscribing to our YouTube channel and liking that, and always get a notification to be part of these conversations. Asante sana. So also, we want to remind you that if you want to be part of this amazing, amazing ministry, you can do that by supporting us through paybill number 316. The account number is your telephone number, as well as our cooperative bank account. And our cooperative bank account is right on your screen right now, and it is account number 01136000799100, and the account name is TBN Family Media. Thank you so much, and God bless you. See you again next week, Tuesday through to Thursday, on Family Matters, with amazing, much more amazing content, just like what we've had this week. God bless.